What's up, boys? This weekend is UFC 317, Olivera versus Topuria, and we got Pantoja versus Kara France on the co-main event. 2 title fights, International Fight Week, 12 fights on the card. I'm here to give you guys my predictions and breakdowns for all of these fights. Starting off, we're going to start with the canceled fights. First of all, we had a Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov fight on the main card. It got rescheduled to UFC 318. Brandon Royval was supposed to fight Manuel Kepe. Kepe pulled out with a foot injury. That's why we have Joshua Van fighting Brandon Royval later in the card. One of the Tafa brothers was on here, going to fight Joanna Dins. Tafa pulled out. And allegedly, Cedric Dumas pulled out against his fight with Jackson McVeigh. But that is not confirmed yet. I've just been seeing that on Twitter. I'm making this on June 24th, okay? Now, starting off with the first fight, we have Nico Price versus Jacoby Smith. Jacoby Smith is like a minus 1,400. Okay, Nico Price is a crazy underdog. He is coming off of a loss to Thembe Garumbo. He won his fight previously before then against Alex Moreno, but then he went on a 3-fight losing streak. He lost to Robbie Lawler in Robbie Lawler's retirement fight. Robbie Lawler knocked him out in 39 seconds, okay? Now, Jacoby Smith is 10-0. He's undefeated. His last 4 wins are coming from knockout. Ground and pound, and the rest of them are punches, okay? His last fight against Preston Parsons, however you want me to say his fucking name, he got knocked out in the first minute and 13 seconds of round 1 via left hook. Watch out for them left hook, Nico Price. Hey, watch out for those left hooks, bro. We're going to go with Jacoby Smith. Listen, the lines are kind of like that for a reason, even though I personally don't think that any man should be a minus 1,000 against another man. Listen, you hit somebody with a spinning elbow, they are going to sleep. That's a fact of life. You hit somebody with a jumping knee, they're going to sleep. Fact of life. It doesn't matter how badly they're beating you up. You hit somebody with one of those two things, you are causing massive damage, okay? So there's no reason somebody should be a minus 1,000 unless there's like a 30-year age gap, okay? Unless you're 60 fighting a 35-year-old, I could see the minus 1,000. Moving on, boys. This is a short notice fight for Alvin Hines, but we have Johanna Dinst versus Alvin Hines. This is a heavyweight fight. Now, Joanna Dinst is coming off of a loss against Marcin Tybura, doctor stoppage in round 2. Previously, before then, my boy was on an absolute run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fight winning streak that was stopped by Marcin Tybura. Okay? Now, this fight got canceled a few... No, it didn't get canceled. I'm sorry. The fight against Justin Tafa got rescheduled like 2 separate different times, and then he just decided to pull out, and they were like, you know what, Joanna Dins, you no longer have to fight a Tafa brother. We're just going to throw Alvin Hines in there with you, and we can get it done. Now, Alvin Hines is undefeated. He's 7-0. He is coming off of a head kick knockout, round 3 against Billy Ray Valdez in LFA. My boy was in the LFA. He was jumping around. He was jumping around a little bit of organizations, but he landed himself in the UFC. My boy is undefeated. Joanna Dins is 8-1. He's coming off of his only loss. Okay? Maybe Joanna Dins learned something from getting absolutely mauled by Marcin Tybura, but I really do believe that the competition level in the LFA compared to the UFC is just significantly different. Honestly, I think that I'm going to go with Alvin Hines here. I think I'm going to go with Alvin Hines. My boy is number 14 ranked heavyweight in North America. That has to mean something here. That has to mean something. Okay, he's never lost. My boy's never lost. He's been to decisions, okay? He's been to decisions. I like a heavyweight that can go to a decision. He only has 1 decision, but still. The rest of his fights normally end in round 2 or 1. But we're going to be going with my boy Alvin Hines over Joanna Dins. And this is also a short notice fight. You were preparing to fight a fat Tafa brother. Now you're fighting a ripped Alvin Hines, okay? Moving on, boys. We have Jackson McVeigh versus newcomer El Tanky Christopher Ewart. Both of these dudes are undefeated. Christopher is 7-0. Jackson McVeigh is 6-0. This is just going to be the battle of the prospects. This is going to be the battle of the prospects. Now you're asking me, E-Rock, why did Cedric Dumas pull out of the fight? You picked Cedric Dumas to win in your UFC wishlist video. Yes, I did. Allegedly, he was not able to get his ankle monitor. I'm literally not even memeing. Allegedly, Cedric Dumas was not able to get his ankle monitor off in time. The earliest he would be able to see a judge would be Thursday, and that would be too late. Allegedly. Hey, cut the shit off. Just cut it off. Cut it off. They don't have your location anyway, Cedric Dumas. If you cut it off, whatever. They know that you're fighting, but they're not gonna storm the octagon for an out-of-state warrant. Be smart. Go get that 50 bands. Okay. Anyways, Jackson McVee versus Christopher Uwer is going to be an absolute banger. Both of these dudes are new. Both of these dudes are prospects. They have to make a name for themselves. I'm going to be going with Jackson McVee. He was already on the card. Okay, he agreed to fight Cedric Dumas, who's in jail. Yeah, how many county squabbles did Cedric Dumas just come off of? It's unknown, right? So he was ready to go do that up. I like some confidence like that. I'm picking Jackson McVee all day. Moving on. I think that this fight coming up right here, boys, might as well be fight of the night. Terrence McKinney versus Vyacheslav Borislav. Terrence McKinney obviously is known as the do or die guy. It's either he knocks you the fuck out in round 1, or you devastatingly embarrass him in round 1 in front of his whole family. Okay? I mean, I like a dude that could go out there and die on a sword. I do. All the props to you. Now, Borislav, okay, the Russian Santa Claus, as everybody calls him, is coming off of a loss against Tom Nolan, which is like a kind of, I did not like my boy's performance right there. Then he came to a split decision against James Lone Top, which I thought was extremely close. This dude had a draw against Nazim Sadikov. He did lose to Chase Hooper, which is just kind of like a little upsetting, but hey, Chase Hooper's he's a slippery little dude. He's super small. Anyways, now Terrence McKinney versus Vyacheslav Borislav is going to be absolute fireworks. I'm gonna go with Terrence McKinney on this one. I do think that this is gonna be a Terrence McKinney decision. I think he's going to break the curse of either losing in round 1 or winning in round 1, and he's going to take the Russian Santa Claus to a decision. It is going to be a bloody decision. It is going to be a brain cell CTE trauma class going on in that octagon. That's a Fendi fact, but we're going to go with Terrence McKinney here. We are. Vyacheslav Borislav is a tough-ass dude, but let's see if he can get hit by my boy Terrence McKinney. I mean, he did survive against Nazim, however you want to say my boy. He survived against Nazim. Okay, moving on, boys. Tracy Cortez is on the card. That's kind of all we need to talk about. Tracy Cortez. Moving on, boys. Anyways, Haidir Amil versus Jose Delgado. Haidir Amil is known as that dude around here. Undefeated. 11-0. He did lose one amateur bout, but we're not going to talk about that. It's A-okay. He has won all of his professional bouts. All of them. 36% of them went to decision. Only won one by submission. 55% of his wins come by knockout. He either goes out there and fucking does battle with you and sleeps you, or he does battle with you and he takes you to the judges. Okay, my boy's going out there to fight. His fight against William Gomes was an amazing fight. He won by a split decision. He knocked out Jiang Yang Li in round 1. Okay, and he knocked out Frenny Garcia. Those are his last 3 in the UFC. Okay, besides that, my boy was on the Contender Series. But he is going against Jose Delgado, who is 9-1, coming off of 5 wins in a row. Okay, his last loss was in 2023 against Chris McKay via decision. Okay, his last 5, by the way, all finishes. Connor Matthews overhand right round 1. All finishes. This is going to be a banger, a fantastic banger, but we're going to be going with Haidir Amil here. Okay, the writing is just kind of on the wall. He has the plot armor, the fans behind him. He just kind of is a savage, okay? Moving on, boys. Fight of the night for real. If they do not give Terrence McKinney and Vyacheslav Borislav fight of the night, it's because Gregory Rodriguez and Jack Hermanson just stole the show. That's because Gregory Rodriguez and Jack Hermanson just stole the show. Now, Jack Hermanson is the dude who decided to, fraud check Joe Pyfer. That's the dude who fraud checked Joe Pyfer. Fraud check Chris Curtis. His last four, Joe Pyfer, Roman Dolidze, Chris Curtis, Sean Strickland, and then we'll throw in the last one just to be fun, Khamzat Chimaev. Okay, this dude has fought nothing but absolute savages except for Joe Pyfer in his previous fights. Now, Jack Hermanson is also 24-8, by the way. Gregory Rodriguez is 16-6, coming off of a fucking insane fight with Jaron Cannonier. an insane back and forth war. He was winning. He ended up getting gassed out and outstruck and outmaneuvered by Jared Cannonier, and Jared got the KO victory over my boy in round 4. Okay, but previously before that, my boy was on a 3-fight winning streak, knocking out Brad Tavares, beating up Christian Leroy Duncan. My boy Gregory Rodriguez is a scary dude. That's a scary dude. It is. Okay, this dude is 6'3". Okay, Jack Hermanson is 6'1". He's gonna have a 2-inch height. Oh my God, 2-inch height advantage over Jack Hermanson. But this is gonna be a battle. This is gonna be a battle. Now, if Gregory Rodriguez does the same thing that he does against Jared Cannonier, he'll be absolutely fine. This is a 3-round fight. Okay, if you go out there and spam punches and gas yourself out within the first 3 rounds, go right ahead. There's not a fourth. There's not a fourth. You get what I'm saying? Hold on, boys. You be hydrating. You gotta hydrate. You have to hydrate, boys. We're gonna be going with Gregory Rodriguez. When you see him in that octagon, that dude is scary. His name's RoboCop. Absolute savage of a dude. Moving on, Peyton Talbot, Frank Ocean's boyfriend, versus Felipe Lima. Frank Ocean's boyfriend, Peyton Talbot, obviously is coming off of that loss against Renoni Barcelos. Barcelos went on to beat up Cody Garbrandt just recently. Felipe Lima is 14-1, coming off of 14 victories in a row. He just went to a decision with Miles Johnson. With Miles Johns, I call him Miles Johnson, whatever, same difference, whatever. This is going to be a battle. Now, if Felipe Lima does not go rewatch that Barcelos fight and decide, okay, we're going to spam single and double leg takedowns, and that is it. If he has not decided that, then Felipe Lima, I don't know what's up with you. I really don't. I've heard people say that, oh, Felipe Lima does not want to strike with Peyton Talbot. Brother, Peyton Talbot doesn't even want to be in an MMA fight. He wants to go fight in a kickboxing. Oh my, why can I not speak English? Sounds like I have CTE. Peyton Talbot does not even want to fight in an oh my goodness, in an MMA organization. He wants to fight in a kickboxing organization. He just does not want to go to the ground. It was evident via the Barcelos fight. We're going Felipe Lima. The holes, funny, look at my boy's chest tattoo. The holes in Peyton Talbot's game are just so visible. You can't help but attack it. Felipe Lima, decision, 30-27. Moving on, boys. We are going Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. Okay, now, first of all, boys, Beneil Dariush is coming off of 2 knockout losses in round 1. 2. Okay, now, what I'm about to say to you guys is not really going to make a lot of sense if you watch this channel for a long time, but Renato Moicano is obviously coming off of that submission loss in round 1 to Islam Makhachev. Before then, my boy was on a 5-fight winning streak, taking out Jalen Turner, BSD, Drew Dober, and Brad Riddell, but I'm feeling a Beneil Dariush career resurgence here. This fight was previously booked when Islam was going to take out Arman, but obviously Islam never fought Arman because Arman decided to pull out with a fake back injury. Okay, cool. Now, I do think that Beneil Dariush, he needed a break. After getting knocked out back to back, you need a break. You need a break. Physically, mentally, everything. The last time we have seen Beneil Dariush in the octagon was December 2nd of 2023. December 2nd of 2023. It is now June of 2025, brother. Time has passed. I believe that your PTSD maybe has fizzled away, but you're still going to experience some ring rust in there with Renato Moicano. Now, funny, you would think that Beneil Dariush is older than Renato Moicano. Renato Moicano is older than Beneil Dariush. Okay. All right. Dariush has some power in his hands. He is good in the jiu-jitsu area. Just don't rewatch his last 2 fights. You get what I'm saying? Well, don't rewatch fucking Renato Moicano's last fight either. Okay? I kind of don't know who I want to pick for this. I would say stay away. I wouldn't even really, I wouldn't pick anybody for this, but I'm going to be picking Beneil Dariush. I feel a Beneil Dariush resurgence incoming. 155 is just so out of pocket. It's like a little insane. Topuria is about to fight and win for the belt. We'll get to that. I did not mean to spoil that. We'll get to that in a second. Moving on, boys. Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van. Joshua Van is on an absolute tear, an absolute tear. This is his this is his third fight in 2025. His sixth fight. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would be his seventh fight in 2 years. Holy. My boy's seventh fight in 2 years. He's hitting them numbers, boys. Obviously, we know my boy lost to Charles Johnson, got knocked out in round 3, but after he got knocked out by Charles Johnson in 2024 in July, literally a year ago, my boy went on a 4-fight winning streak. Domination. Edgar Chairez, Cody Durden, Ray Tesura, and Bruno Silva. He beat up bad. Now, Manuel Kepe decided to pull out with a foot injury. That's why we have Joshua Van versus Brandon Royval, but I don't think Joshua Van has what it takes to take on Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval is going to be a lot taller than Joshua Van. Brandon Royval is 5'9". Joshua Van is 5'5". It's going to be a 4-inch height advantage. Joshua Van has not really been in there with the top echelon of fighters yet. The highest level echelon of fighters that he has fought, I'm going to be completely honest with you, is Charles Johnson. Now compare Charles Johnson to Brandon Royval, and then also remember that Joshua Van got knocked the fuck out by Charles Johnson. Brandon Royval went 25 minutes with Pantoja. Brandon Royval is on a two-fight winning streak. He beat Brandon Moreno. I don't know why I can't speak today, but he beat Brandon Moreno. Fought Brandon Moreno like 3 times. He beat Kai Kira France. Alright? He's taller. He knows how to box. He knows how to fight off his back foot. I'm going to be going with Brandon Royval here, but guys, don't get it twisted. If Joshua Van wins this fight, he will be fighting for the belt next. He will, especially if Pantoja stays in the division. If Pantoja decides, okay, you know what? I need to go fight Merab, we're still going to be seeing a Joshua Van in the title shot if he wins this fight. Moving on, boys. Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Kira France. I'm going Pantoja all fucking day. All day. I could not ever bet against Pantoja, and I could never bet with Kai Kira France. Kai Kira France is 1-2 in his last 3. I bet you they didn't tell you that. I bet they didn't tell you that. And when he fought Brandon Moreno, got knocked out. Well, it was via body shot. But Brandon Moreno had him on the floor. Oh, had him like that on the floor. Had him like that on the floor. By the way, this dude got a title shot off of knocking out Steve Erceg. Congratulations, bro. You knocked somebody out. Good job. Everybody's saying, oh, Kai Kira France has power. Kai Kira France has power. Dude, are you for real? Haya Sakura has power. Brandon Royval, Brandon Moreno has power. Manuel Kepe has power. Those dudes have power. And either way, Pantoja beat you. They fought before. Go look it up. You can watch the first fight. Pantoja whooped Kai Kira France's ass. Super bad. Mega bad. We're going with Pantoja all day, and then they're going to give us Pantoja versus Merab. Pretty please. This dude is cleared out the division. You're about to start giving him, instead of rematches, you're going to give him rematch. They're going to fight for a third time. We're on the main event. We're here. Now, listen. I'm going to rate the card right now. I would give this whole card about an 8. I would give this card about an 8. Pre-fights, just the card flow and who's on here and the stakes and everything. We're going to give it an 8. Now, if the Paulo Costa fight was on here, if Kepe didn't pull out, you're looking at a 9. Looking at a 9. This is a violence card. Card full of violence. Now, anyways, Ilia Topuria versus Charles Olivera. Ilia Topuria obviously is undefeated. He's 16-0, coming off of knocking out Max Holloway, coming off of knocking out Alexander Volkanovski, took Josh Emmett's goblin ass to a decision, and then choked out Bryce Mitchell into a little origami, origami thing. Now, Charles Olivera is coming off of a win against Michael Chandler that he took to a 25-minute decision. 25-minute decision, Michael Chandler. Before then, he lost to Arman Sarukian split decision. I would give Charles that fight, but it's okay. I would give Charles the Arman fight, but it is A-okay. I don't think I really need to say much. People are sitting here telling me, oh, Charles is tall. Charles is big. Brother Max Holloway is bigger than Charles Olivera. Brother Jai Herbert is taller than Charles Olivera. Cool. Jai Herbert head kick Topuria. Topuria recovered. Topuria recovered. He recovered. Olivera gets hit bad in every single fight he's been in. Michael Chandler, in your last fight, Michael Chandler literally almost knocked you out. Paddy Pimblett went out there and dog walked Michael Chandler, made it look easy. So I don't know where, like, is there just levels to this that we're just really not seeing because Olivera and everybody's just been in the top echelon of 155 for so long? But, brother, you almost got knocked out by Michael Chandler. You almost got knocked out by Justin Gaethje. You almost got knocked out by Dustin Poirier. You almost got knocked the fuck out by it. You got sat down by Islam Makhachev. Listen, if Ilya touches you, bye-bye. Bye-bye. If Ilya touches you, it's over. It's a fact of life. It is. Now, the question is, how quickly is Ilya going to be able to get you out of here? I'm going to say round 1. I'm going to be going round 1. KO, TKO, Ilya Topuria. This dude is confident. He's been saying it all day. Somebody go watch the Embedded. He's over here saying, poor Charles. I'm so sorry that you had to take this fight, Charles. I'm so sorry. They asked him, hey, Ilya, what do you think about Charles? He goes, I wish him a speedy recovery. Woo! Cold words. I'm ready to see this press conference. I'm ready to see these face-offs, but my picks are not changing. These are my picks. Wait, hold on, boys. Hey, if you made it this far, I always throw a little snippet at the end for TikTok so I can make a little TikTok clip out of it. You ready, boys? Here we go. These are my picks for UFC 317, boys. We're going to start with the main card and go all the way down. Ilya Topuria, knockout, TKO. Alexander Pantoja by decision. Brandon Royval, Beneil Dariush, Felipe Lima, Gregory Rodriguez, the RoboCop, Hydra Emil. We do not bet on women's fights over here. We're going with Terrence McKinney. Why couldn't Cedric Dumas get the ankle monitor off? We're going to go with Jason McVeigh if Cedric Dumas is really out of there. We're going to be going with Alvin Hines over Johanna Dentz. And we're going to be going with Jacoby Smith. I'm out of here, boys. Peace out.